It is with great pleasure and honor that I present to you our first speaker, Ms. Kader Sevinç. She is the CHP, which is the Republican People's Party in Turkey, representative to the EU in Brussels, and the PES, Party of European Socialists and Democrats Presidency Council member. She's also a social entrepreneur and poet. So let us give a warm round of applause to dear Ms. Kader Sevinç.
Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me for such an interesting program and giving me the opportunity to meet students of a wonderful College of Europe. It's my second time speaking in the College of Europe. The other time it was in Netherlands. Today I'm going to talk about renovation of politics and our roles as active citizens, or maybe we can call it as smart citizens. As Işıl said, I'm a politician. I represent a political party at the European level and also at the national level, but also I'm an activist for the renovation of politics. It makes me an insider and at the same time an outsider for politics. Recently, I had lunch meeting with a prominent member of the European Parliament who is also former Foreign Affairs Minister of an EU member state. At a certain point he said, "Oh, I really don't understand why citizens are constantly complaining about politics. Politics is actually the mirror of the society." I said, sounds interesting, but what if the mirror is broken? What if the mirror does reflect a deformed image? He found the allegory very interesting, and then we continued our lunch meeting by discussing on this. I would like to share with you a few facts. What do European citizens think about politics? It's a quite striking fact, I believe. 71% of European citizens feel politics are corrupt, broken. 64% of young Germans think that most politicians largely ignore the views of younger people. These facts are from Millennial Dialogue research done by FEPS, the European Progressive Foundation, based in Brussels. As you see, millennials, I'm part of the generation, I'm just at the border of that generation. You are all part of millennial generation. How they are responding questions about politics. I don't trust politicians. All parties and politicians are the same. I don't support the current political system. There isn't any party that represents my views. So, I think I found those facts quite striking and also worrying. Not only for politics, for the sake of democracy. Citizens are losing faith in democracy. And citizens also have a responsibility to fix it. You know, we all are, especially younger generation citizens, are making call for action to fix democracy, to fix politics, developed, innovate the way we are making politics. Because when we look at different problems we are facing with, at the end, the core of the problem, we see the politics. So today, I would like to challenge the way we are making politics and the way democracy is functioning. In the best case, in the developed countries, we are called to vote for a party in elections every 2 years, every 4 years, in the best case, every year. At the international level, at the national level, or regional or local levels. But democracy is not all about ballot boxes. It is about set of values, and it is about actions to preserve progressive democratic values. So all the social movements we observed from Turkey, Gezi movement, to Brazil, the Wall Street movement, Arab Spring, all those movements were implying the same message. Citizens are dissatisfied with the politics and the way democracy evolved. So political parties, I believe, should address certain challenges. I can sum up them: exploring new ways, inclusive way of making politics, how we can include different segments of society and more citizens in our policy-making processes and decision-making processes, and also using technology better. Today, we are in a different age than political parties are designed for. I believe political parties are still very much the same like it was 200 years ago. Our schools are not very much changed as well. So political parties, our conventions, our structures, and at different levels, it needs to be changed. In this sense, I would like to share with you some of my proposals, how we can change politics and the political parties. The new ways of making politics and the new tools of communications and the reformulation of agenda and transparency. For example, when it comes to transparency, people, especially political parties, tend to think that just throwing data out there is making our institutions more transparent. No, it's not making it. And it's not solving the problem of money flow in politics. There is a good program of Transparency International for political parties. They design it specifically for political parties to make them more accountable and transparency. This is the trick. Transparency should go hand in hand with accountability. And through this program, we can make our political parties more transparent and more accountable for our citizens. For example, Spanish Socialist Party applied Transparency International for this program. They implemented it, and they saw very positive responses from citizens. There are different levels of change. I will address them later. First one I'd like to talk about is language. Political parties and politicians generally speaking in a form of language which is very bureaucratic, which is not interesting. Usually like a press releases. Do you read political parties' press releases? Any of you? Are you interested in? Do you think they are interesting? Yeah, I agree. They're not. So, our century citizens, 21st century citizens, are expecting a different way of use of language. We are expecting politics and politicians be more rational, be more innovative, be more poetic in their communication with us. And simpler language, addressing the right issues. This language problem is blocking many of the avenues between political parties and the society. This is first thing I would like to discuss here. Second thing is structure. Political parties are very bureaucratic, very hierarchical. And this hierarchy in the political party structure is blocking the flow of information, transparency, and the teamwork in the political parties. And also, your engagement with the political party, as citizens, our engagement with the political parties. So I advocate flatter organization for the political parties when a matrix organization type can be implemented rather than those committee-style organizations, which is very hierarchical. So making it more transparent, making it simpler, and also open institutions for citizens. In this structure part, maybe I can talk about, oops, no, yeah. Structure part, I'd like to also talk about relations between architecture and politics. It was a year ago. I was in Venice Biennale. There was an exhibition there, which was quite interesting. It was an exhibition about how architecture and politics have been interacting with each other. It was proving that fascists, far-rightists, populists always used architecture to reflect their values. You know, those balcony speeches or the architectural styles Hitler's and others used. I question that. Why not? Democrats, progressives, liberals, liberal Democrats are not reflecting their values in their public spaces, in their headquarters buildings, in their local chapters spaces. So in this part, as part of this initiative, Renovation of Politics initiative, I'm working together with a group of architects to develop certain ideas for the political parties and their local chapters, how we can improve that mainstream politics. Because mainstream politics is shrinking, is losing its power and energy, and it is opening avenues and space which is filled by populist movements and far-rightists. So this is a quite interesting concept we are still working on. Later on, I'll be very happy to share it with you. It is going to be kind of a social hub for all of us, for citizens to enjoy interaction with politicians, with political activists, and also spend our spare time, like in Starbucks. In one corner, there will be a citizen forum in a design of Greek theater or Roman theater, we can call it. And on another corner, in another corner, we will have a co-working space. In another corner, we will have Starbucks-like library, e-library, and books, etc., with comfortable chairs, comfortable armchairs, and it will be open to citizens who enjoy free Wi-Fi, coffee, and tea facilities. So this is an idea to create a place where all citizens can enjoy their spare time and interact with the political party they are affiliated with, or maybe they are interested in knowing more about the political party. So, apologize for always turning way back. So, monologue versus dialogue. The political parties' communication structure and the way they're communicating with people is quite a monologue, isn't it? You know, text messages, emails, press releases, you know, media coverages. Those are not requiring our interaction with the politicians, with the political parties. On the contrary, it is putting us or considering us as passive recipients of the messages developed by politicians. Here I advocate an idea. We should develop this story together with citizens for the society. Later on, I'll tell you how we can make it and what's my idea about it. Party membership versus issue-based engagement and activism. How many of you are a member of a political party? Only a few? Okay. What we observe, based on facts and also my own personal experience, especially millennial generation citizens, are less and less interested in being a member of a political party. There is one simple reason behind it. Because they don't want to endorse a political party for all its policies and actions. This is as simple as that. But they're open to engage with political parties on an issue base or based on projects or idea. You may like a political party in general, and you may not like that political party's, that policy, but another policy area may work for you, and you may even go and vote for that political party. What does it tell us? It tells us political parties should develop, in a way, new ways to engage citizens, like activism, for example, volunteer platforms, which are different than membership. And political parties should understand members, more loyal and more engaged with our political parties. But there are some more other citizens out there. We need to reach out, we need to engage, and it is political parties' responsibility. What's our responsibility as citizens? We should encourage them. We should push them, the political parties, to do so. So, after talking about political parties, also we should talk a little bit about the politicians. What type of politicians we would like to see in our political parties, in our political movements? Grassroots politicians? Is this the right mold? Or expertise-based politics and politicians? Or those politicians' profiles we see in some European countries more often, in some less, coming from a political family? I don't know, what do you think? But I think it should be a good mixture of it. And the quality should be the center of it. And the quality for a politician will be how much citizen-centered approach that politician has. And in the internet age, we have another danger, another problem we are facing in our interactions with political parties, is that it is the click activism. That click activism problem is really undermining our political parties and our democracy as well. While we are clicking on links and spending time on Facebook, on internet, to speak up against certain issues, life is going on out there. Somebody else who are not sharing basic democratic values we believe in, getting more and more active. So, click activism has its own share in the internet age, but at the same time, we need citizen empowerment and smart citizenship. But I believe that without solving the problem of citizenship, without fixing citizenship problem, we cannot fix democracy. This is why we should think more about citizenship and what we can do for our democracies. In an internet age, we said we cannot be just passive recipients. We should speak up in actions, in words, in every way. I would like to propose you to make that exercise. We've been doing in our workshops in Brussels, several workshops I organized so far. Usually we do it at the end of our workshops, but now during the presentation, maybe you can write, or at the end of the conference we can collect them. I want you to write your ideas, your messages on these postcards about politics. What type of change you would like to see in politics, in which way it should be changed. Why postcards? Because what I said, political parties, organization, the way they are communicating with people belong to another century. Postcards as well. So postcards maybe are better ways to communicate with political parties and to remind them they should change their structure, they should change their way of making politics. But of course, we are not going to send those postcards to political parties. What we're going to do, we are going to share them online, because we are 21st century citizens, and we will make it in our own way. So, I would like to give postcards to you, distribute. I talked about smart citizenship, changing citizenship, and developing innovative ways how we can interact with the current political party system. At the end of my presentation, I would like to share with you an idea. It is at the sketch level now, in the conceptual level. We are developing a web platform and also a mobile app for citizens, and for the use of political parties and governments, local level, regional level, national level, to use this platform to make their policies, to make their decisions through that platform in engaging citizens. What do I mean? As citizens, your party, you will have a chance to interact with your party through your smartphone. You will be able to submit an amendment for an existing legislation or an ongoing debate, or you can present a proposal for a completely new law proposal, legislation, or you can introduce something completely new, an issue to bring to the agenda. So now we are working on the technicalities, and behind this technology, we are planning to use big data technology and also artificial intelligence. What will it bring to us, bring into this project, is that free form of text written by citizens will be introduced into decisions. And the political parties will be able to see what do their members say about current legislative process. What do activists of this political party are aspiring for on a current debate or on a new debate the citizens would like to bring into agenda, introduce into agenda. So this is kind of a project I'm very enthusiastic about. Hopefully we can complete all the technical work behind, and together with the architectural proposals and other innovative forms of interactions between political parties and the citizens, and which will enable, all those will enable us to interact better with politics and change politics and innovate politics for the future. Otherwise, something very much unexpected, something very much into the place where we don't want our societies to take is expecting us. This is the time to take an action, change things in politics for our democracies, and I would like to thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.